Would it be premature for me to do a little victory toot toot?
All right. 1 toot toot.
Well, I can cross that off the bucket list.
Bucket list refers to a list of things that people say they need to do before they die. It's kind of silly if you ask me. I think it's just a media creation. But the idea of a bucket list comes from an old term, which is kick the bucket, which means to die. And nobody seems to know where this term comes from, but the going belief seems to be that when people kill themselves by hanging themselves, they would stand on a bucket upside down, and then they would kick the bucket to kill themselves. Okay, which sounds really stupid. So to kick the bucket means to die, specifically, the moment of when somebody dies. Okay, alternately, again, these are all disgusting definitions. It would be that when they hanged people, their legs would sort of flop around a little bit like they were kicking. So people would make fun of that and ended up calling it kick the bucket. So anyway, this idea got carried forward to the present day into a list of things that people are supposed to do before they die, like go see the pyramids and go on a raft trip down the Nile, tell my mother I love her, all these different things that people say they're supposed to do before they die. And then typically a lot of these things are kind of exotic for retirees who presumably have a lot of money. More often than not, though, it's used ironically. So, for example, if somebody sees somebody jumping out of an airplane with one of those wingsuits, somebody says, yeah, that goes on my bucket list. I'm definitely going to do that before I die. But in real life, they don't think they're going to do it. They're just being ironic. And it also doesn't have to be an official list. It can just be a list of things you'd like to do before you die. So people say, oh, that goes on my bucket list. That goes on my bucket list. I'm going to drink $1,000 bottle of wine one day. That goes on my bucket list. Yeah, so it's another way of saying I want to do this or I want to try this at some point in the future. I remember the first time I saw Hunger Games. It was a great movie, but most of all, I was impressed by Jennifer Lawrence. She's such a great actress. And I said, she goes on my bucket list. I'm going to try to go on a date with her if I ever get a chance. Me along with everybody else. When I was young, bungee jumping was definitely on my bucket list. But as I got older, I said, I'm not going to bungee jump. So I crossed it off my list. There's a racetrack real close to where I live where you can actually drive a race car, a real race car around a track. It's pretty expensive, but I'm definitely putting that on my bucket list. No question. ESL-fullsteamahead.com